Hey, what's up? This is Amazin.react, reacting to a brand new video on my channel. Today's video is titled, The Bop House is Finally Over. So, the Bop House, I've heard some stuff about it. I believe it's a house where OnlyFans models, they come together and they shoot like content and stuff like that, but they kind of make it, they kind of like the AMP or the Phase Clan for OF models or something like that. But let's get into it because it seems like their time is up.
Over the past couple months, the Bop House has been on a steady decline into
Not
irrelevancy,
OG
with
Bop
nearly
House.
all
They
their
all
most
look young
popular
to be
members
OG.
officially leaving the house and no new videos being posted to their TikTok page in nearly 2 months. For those who don't know, the Bop House is one of the most degenerate and borderline illegal
Yes.
content houses
Just
of all
anything
time.
in the
It's
internet.
essentially a house full of OF models who post TikToks and sell pictures of their bodies nearly every day. And this is also crazy considering the type of fan base they have. And these are all people that are being pushed the agenda that being a bop is a legitimate career path and
Yeah,
okay
I
thing
hate
to
that.
do, which is overall
Because it's
just a
sending a
terrible
bad
thing to
message to
promote to the
kids.
youth. They'll constantly be showing
I
the
don't know
amount.
if what's that one woman name? And she looks super old too to be acting like that. I forgot her name. The Bonnie Blue, like her, it seemed like they is like trying to get people to like join that. Like it feel like they hate it, but they just want other people to join, so it does so they don't feel as bad about doing it or something like that.
Of money they make, the lavish lifestyle they're living, to, in my opinion, indoctrinate more people into becoming a bop and getting into the industry. And
Yeah,
even though the Bop
it's
House is
ruining
proven to
society.
be one of the
It's ruining society. They got to give it up. Like the whole OF movement, which I got a theory I'll say at the end of the video of why people aren't really pushing back on that whole thing. But yeah, it's just society as it like we already got a going problem. These kids is like low IQ and it's just bad.
most popular content houses of all time, based on the amount of views, followers, and money they've been able to generate, bops would begin leaving the house left and right. And many people believe that
It's
this is
crazy
due
that
to the
they.
amount of
I hope
drama
that's
that was
not a term
started
they
in the
actually go
Bop
by
House,
like
leading all the way to
bops.
the eventual
I
end.
know that's
Bop
well, that's
House
the
is
name of that
finally
house, so
over is
probably is.
falling apart right now. So members of the Bop House have started posting saying the Bop House is done. It is a thing of the past. The reason for this.
That's another thing too. Historically, like, I ain't gonna say historically, but from my experience, anything that revolve around girls, like when guys get together and they start like their own house or like have roommates and stuff like that, it lasts way longer than when girls do it. For some reason, girls cannot live together. They end up ruining relationships as far as like their relationship, friendships and stuff. That ends up getting ruined when girls come together and try to become roommates. Whereas with guys, even if you and the guy got a situation and y'all into it and stuff like that, you don't have to speak to each other until you get over it. And then it is what it is. But with girls, it just becomes like bitter and nasty. And that's why just in general girls can't live together.
The girls in the Bob House apparently cannot get along with each other. Julia posted saying a lot of the girls are fighting, a lot of the girls can't stand to be in the same room as each other. Some of them are apparently in secret relationships, and some of them just want to move back home and get away from the Bop House. There's also some that apparently want to just retire. They don't want to be Bops no more. Now, a lot of people hearing this news are very
They
happy as
bopped
the
out.
Bop House was one of the most controversial content houses on the entirety of the internet. If you don't know what the Bop House does, just go look up the definition of Bop. Now, it's kind of wild to me just how fast this house fell apart. You don't know, they've only been active for like a year or so at this point.
Dang,
The
last
more
long.
videos I make on the Bop House, the more I realize how pathetic it actually is.
Dang,
Nearly
got a lot
all
of
of these
videos
girls
about
are
these.
living under the same roof and constantly
He might
complaining
be
about the
the male
drama and
bop
why
for
they
them.
want to leave. Like, girl, you are a multi-millionaire. If you really want to leave the house, then just fucking leave. Well, unless if the drama in the
Maybe they
house
under
is all
contract though.
fake, and you're just doing all of this for views and money, which if we're being
Oh,
honest is most likely what's happening here. And it gets
yeah,
even
it
worse
could
when
be
you
that,
consider the
and it
fact that
worked because
all
I
of these
thought they
girls
was
act like they're in
ruining
high school
each other
despite
lives.
being in their early to mid 20s. And with them just acting like this in nearly all of their content, they're trying to be relatable to people of a younger demographic. The younger girls and guys that are constantly watching TikTok and maybe even want to be influencers to basically indoctrinate them into doing OF. And also just
Yeah,
promote
and
their
that's the
OF
only thing.
content to
That's
as
one
many
of the
people as
main things where
possible.
I'm
And many of those
like
people
it was just them coming together, like trying to like making TikTok videos and getting famous from doing stuff like that. It'd have been okay. It's just the way that they make it seem like oh yeah, you should join too, and you should do this stuff that we're doing too. Look how much money we're making. Like all money ain't good money.
are young people that are under the age of 18 who can't even legally consume your OF content. And I'm also open to the possibility that maybe this isn't their intentions. Maybe they aren't trying to promote their content to these kinds of
I think
people,
they
but
just
it really
really
is
trying to
looking
just
like
make
that is the
money.
case. And whenever a couple of the old founders, Camilla Araujo and Julia Filippo, would talk about this situation, this is what they would have to say.
Them some weird
Let's
names.
talk about it because
Araujo and
obviously
Filippo.
I made my video. I am disappointed. It is emotional because we all at one point the workflow was fine. Like everyone was cool. Like I'm not saying we were ever all best friends, but
The internet thinks we are.
the girls that were there originally were Joy, Sophie, Alina, and like those girls, like,
But they already knew each other.
they already knew each
Yeah.
other. Like they've known each other for years. So me and Julia were added in because they thought that we would be a good addition to the house and we could all, make videos and just almost for the business grow the Bop House bigger and make it a more viral thing. So we ended up doing that.
Yeah.
And it was fine in the beginning. Like we actually had a lot of fun. It was
The original Bop House.
the original Bop House before all the break-ins and all the people showing up and swatting and stuff. It was
Yeah.
a good time.
That was a sign. Y'all need to stop.
Like genuinely, it was so much fun, and like it was Christmas time, and we had like our Skims onesies, and then I
We
think
tried to all hang
They make
out
it seem
and
like
not
it was a
fight. We
sorority.
tried.
I
Like the
think it's
trips
just
we'd
the
go on.
it's just the underlying stuff of what they're doing in there. Because I believe it wasn't just the TikToks; it was them filming the like OF stuff too.
Super Bowl, I had a
Cabin
good time.
trips.
But I think the issue is
But
truly
not all of us were all there every single time.
people stayed with who they knew. You know what I mean? And then that's where everything started. And then most recently, I think we just couldn't take it anymore. Like, I kind of fell in love with the business more than the friendships. Like, I definitely did. Like, I was in love with the
grinding, and we're just sitting there like, doo-doo-doo.
yeah. Like,
She got to
I'm
choose a
like
different word than
the
grinding
one that thinks about
because of
okay,
her
the
line of
collabs
percussion.
and the what brand will work with us and like what like you know what I'm saying. And I was like, oh, a reality show would get people to know us, like who we
Yeah.
are as people.
What
And
br-
then
Listen, I feel like whatever brand working with them, you they need to drop. They need to expose their email. They probably got stuff worse than the Epstein list going on with. It's probably like rich, like weirdos and they stuff.
I pushed for that, and we were so fucking close. We were literally this
I
close,
know. Ugh.
and we just you can't force something to work. It's almost like a relationship. Like if you try and force a toxic relationship to work, like it's just never gonna work. So we just had to call it quits.
Now, from a business standpoint, I do see this as a likely reason for the group falling apart initially. Simply not being able to agree on certain things and people getting frustrated at others constantly is a valid reason for the group falling apart. However, the way they're
I
presenting
don't
this
understand what would
situation to the
they
public
didn't like
just
the
makes the
TikTok
group
dances
look
that they were
more and
doing because
more
I'm assuming
fake.
they wasn't
Like, we
doing
have
all
to keep
the
in mind, they're
OnlyFans
early
stuff
20-year-olds
in there
acting like
in
they're
that house.
in
Like
high school,
they go to like
all
studios
living
or
under
something. I
the
guess.
same roof, complaining every day about drama that's happening within this house. Meanwhile, they're all making millions of dollars. So why are they complaining? Especially since they could just move out if they want to, but they keep staying there and making content with them. I don't know, guys. Again, this seems a
I
little
mean, they could
fishy,
just
but
use their
regardless,
house
Camilla and
as
Julia
just
would hop
content
on
and
yet
just go to
another
their own
podcast just
places
a couple of days ago. And this time it's
at
about
the end
Julia
of it.
leaving the house, which is a pretty big deal. Now, literally the three biggest members of the house have officially left: Sophie Rain, Camilla Araujo, and Julia.
I think the
Like,
Bop
I don't
House is
give a
kind of
shit.
like done, but I
That's what
think
I'm
they're
saying,
like
like,
just still filming
I don't
together
know-
with content.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what it is? The girls that were truly friends are now just sticking through.
Yeah.
And that's what happened. Like I think the girls that like they're all still they were good friends before we ever joined, and we were good friends before we ever joined. So it was like we just kind of went back to what was
And they're
normal,
still gonna film
and they're still
together.
going to be doing their
Yeah.
thing. So that was something that recently happened. So I feel like we should have addressed that. Congratulations, and I'm sorry if you're going through a hard time. I love you.
I mean, guys, let's be honest. How hard of a time can Julia actually be going through after leaving the Bop House? She went from making millions of dollars to making millions of dollars. Guys, newsflash.
But I don't think that's necessarily fair because it's the way you make the money. Like it comes with like the toxicity that comes with it from whenever you're doing stuff like that. Like they said, they was getting swatted. They were getting random people showing up to their places. So even though they are making money, at the end of the day, when all the negative stuff start coming in, you start to think like, was it worth it?
nothing has changed for her at all. And regardless, I think it's absolutely disgusting what these creators do. And I didn't talk much about it in this video specifically, but we all know they're using TikTok to try and funnel as many people over to their OS. Using TikTok and YouTube, which are platforms primarily
Yeah.
consisting of children, and they can't even try and be a little bit more noble in their content. Like, they're wearing this type of clothing in all of their videos. So let me know what you guys think about this entire situation in the comments down below. It's crazy to believe that the Bop House is actually like seeming like it's ending, as like I stated earlier, they haven't posted videos in a couple months, and it doesn't seem like things are going to get any more
They might just be
consistent from
building up
this
the
moment
drama to
forward. Spotify
unleash
shout out of
some
the
new
day goes
members.
to Heeman. Thank you so much, brother. I appreciate the support so much. And YouTube comment of the day goes to Two
I
Functional
appreciate the
Brain
Minecraft
Cells.
video in the
If you guys want to
background.
get a shout out in
Oh,
the next
I
video,
didn't
then
even
do be sure
notice
to
it.
drop a comment down below on your thoughts on the video. And also make sure you guys subscribe to the channel down below. And also drop a like for more videos just like.
All right. So that's the whole situation. It seems like a normal situation would happen whenever girls get together and try to like become roommates. I'll be honest, it's just experience from experience. I've seen it happen a few times. But when it comes to their situation, now earlier I was gonna say this is kind of like a conspiracy theory or something. And maybe it's not. Maybe it's known. I don't know. But I feel like when it comes to content like OF, I do think we need more censorship on the internet when it comes to stuff of like pornography. I think we do because I think it's like I think it's like something that's unseen that is like infecting too many people in a negative way and people don't realize it. But I also think that the only like if you see like politicians, they'll say stuff about how Twitter is doing all this stuff, or they'll talk about, oh, are you giving away our information on Meta? And they'll go for like Mark Zuckerberg and Elon talking about this, but nobody has ever said anything about OF, like, oh, let's shut that down and stuff like that. And I think the reason why I think it's because at one point you couldn't monetize the stuff that they were doing. So like, well, I wouldn't say you could monetize. Like the government couldn't get any compensation for it. So that's why they were so like that's why it was they were so against it. But then when you started putting it on OnlyFans and people having to pay into it, like I'm assuming they do pay taxes. So when you have to do stuff like that, now the government is getting paid and it's bringing in a lot of money. That's why I think that they don't bring that topic up enough. I think people do need to start bringing it up as far as like to politicians, like, what are you gonna do about this? Like, because I do think it is too degenerate. We need to like have a reset when it comes to society and what kids are able to see, because growing up when I was younger, it wasn't as accessible to us to see stuff like that. You had to actually work hard just to see it, and it wasn't nowhere near as what these kids probably are introduced to on the internet now, because it's just a flood of information coming in from anywhere. It's hard to control what a child sees. And I was done with this whole thing whenever you see what was going on Roblox, and people still aren't censoring their kids whenever it comes to the internet. But it is what it is. Hopefully things will get better. Now the bypass, no, get rid of that. But I'm just talking about in general for society. But if you like this video, make sure you like and subscribe. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.